Has Ned Leeds, Peter Parker's old friend, once again taken up the mantle of the Hobgoblin, and if so, why? Let's hop into the pages of Amazing Spider-Man issue number 12 and find out the answer to that question together, shall we? So then, this brand new issue actually picks up directly from where the last one left off. You'll remember that Norman Osborn was taking a clandestine dockside meeting with Roderick Kingsley, only for both of them to come under attack by a new Hobgoblin. In a very clever bit of visual storytelling, the EMTs have to dig out a battered and bruised Norman from the wreckage, while Kingsley just punches his way out like it was nothing. In doing so, showcasing that Norman isn't taking any goblin-enhancing drugs recently, and because of that, he's squishy and fragile like a normal human, where Kingsley is very obviously still juicing up. Peter goes to meet Norman at the hospital, but understandably he's pretty pissed at him. They agreed that they would be honest with each other moving forward, but Norman lied to Peter about when exactly his meeting with Kingsley was taking place. Norman swears up and down that he didn't do this to try and be sinister, only that he was trying to protect Peter by actively going out of his way to clean up a bunch of his own old messes without always needing Spider-Man to bail him out. Pete is mad and very suspicious, but he's still equally suspicious about Ned Leeds, as it seems sadly very obvious that Ned has broken bad. Peter decides to look into this case a little closer by going and actually talking with Betty. We see that she's really truly shaken, and we learn that while things were good with her and Ned for a bit, things quickly changed after they had their kid Winston. Ned started getting a lot more paranoid. He thought Norman was sending people to spy on them, that his baby's formula was tainted, and that maybe they actually wanted to kidnap his child because of something to do with goblin blood. Things got so bad he even started wearing his old Hobgoblin costume again around the house. These seem like the actions of a deranged man, and when Spider-Man actually tries to hunt Ned down at his office, things start making a lot more sense. Not only has Ned put together an entire string theory board that would put the one from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to shame, but Peter also discovers that Ned is making use of the Winkler machine again. Okay, so what's the Winkler machine? Well, it's a reference to Dr. Winkler, a real deep-cut Spider-Man character from back in the day. Basically, the dude built a machine for the Kingpin so he could brainwash people and help facilitate basically all those famous Spider-Man brainwashing stories that you know and love. Kingsley had used the machine on Ned back in the day to trick him into being Hobgoblin so that they could help prolong that story. Ned swears up and down that the machine helps him think clearly, but before we get any actual resolution to that statement, they both end up coming under attack by another Hobgoblin. It's also made abundantly clear that this is another Hobgoblin because while the one at the docks from the previous issue went in for the kill, this one is all about the big bad supervillain theatrics. He toys with Spider-Man, he monologues, he even does the little glove laser blast thing, which admittedly we have not seen in a very long time. It's a nice callback. Spider-Man holds his ground in the fight very well, thanks in no small part to Norman Osborn's brand new spider suit, which comes complete with its own glider, something that pisses off this other Hobgoblin to no end. Now, Peter's not stupid, and this is far from his first Goblin rodeo. He knows that the best thing to do in this situation is to unmask the guy and quick so we can finally get to the bottom of what exactly is going on here. One new nano spider bomb and a trip through a water tower later, and Peter is ultimately able to reveal that this Hobgoblin who attacked him and Ned turns out to be none other than, well, Roderick Kingsley himself, because obviously who else it was going to be. But why, though, is the big question. It seems that Roderick was up to his old tricks again, using the Winkler machine to try and brainwash Ned into thinking that he was also the Hobgoblin. Though that plan clearly backfired on him, though, because look what happened at the docks. This new revelation freaked Spider-Man out just enough to allow Kingsley and Ned to get the upper hand on him. Again, credit where credit is due on the art side of things. I like that Ned's glider doesn't have as many spikes as Kingsley does, and Kingsley's eyes on his mask are brighter than Ned's, letting you know exactly which Hobgoblin you're dealing with at any given time. And it's right there the comic comes to a close, everyone. So that was Amazing Spider-Man issue number 12, and overall I thought it was fine. Not great, just fine. I was really excited for this story going in, but I can't help but shake the feeling that this issue kinda overplayed its hand a little quicker than I was hoping. Yep, Ned was the Goblin, and Kingsley was too. I guess I was just expecting more twists and turns from Zeb Wells. On one hand, I guess it's good that he finally got to the point where so many other writers would draw this out, but still, a little mystery and intrigue goes a long way, especially in a Hobgoblin-centric story. I'd also like to say it's a new, fresh, and interesting idea to have Spider-Man fight two different versions of the same villain at the same time, but it actually isn't. In fact, even Dan Slott himself had Spider-Man fight 2 different versions of the Hobgoblin at the same time. Which, geez, you know, if I had a nickel for every time that happened in Spider-Man history, I would now officially be the owner of 2 nickels, which isn't much, but surprising that it happened twice, isn't it? Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's certainly not as exciting or as interesting as the first chapter in this story led me to believe. Here's hoping the finale brings out a couple more tricks. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cave Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.